Slider Domination presents 7 ways to bust out of a slider slump. Like all things in this great game, baseball is a game of failure. You can't argue it. Even Hall of Famers seem like they could do nothing right for short periods of time in every season throughout their illustrious careers. So why should we be any different? As a pitcher, you will have days when your body would rather be doing something different. However, the competitor in your mind accepts any and all challenges when you get called on to take the mound. Unfortunately, the body tends to have a mind of its own. It doesn't take much to recognize that your slider is not doing what you expect of it. So how do you combat this problem? Here are 7 ways to bust out of a slider slump. Slider slump buster tip number 1, relax. First and foremost, relax. Don't panic. It's not the end of the world. If you are a competitor, you will find a way to win. Plus, body language is everything as a pitcher. It is a natural instinct for your opponents to smell fear in you. So how you carry yourself in the times of adversity is a very valuable commodity to both you and your team. When the hitter sees that you are frustrated with yourself based off of your performance, he will eventually get the upper edge, which should never, ever happen. Good pitchers always bring their poker face with them to the mound. Slider slump buster tip number 2, don't rush. Like the previous tip, to go along with don't panic, don't rush. This is the worst thing that you can do as a pitcher. Speeding up your delivery ruins your rhythm and really slows down your arm. No matter how hard you think you're actually throwing, you're not. You're slowing everything down. Rushing your delivery to throw a slider is absolutely disastrous. Everything breaks down. When you speed up your body, your arm does not catch up, and the end result of your pitch is never good. The lower half of your mechanics, which moves first, is the foundation for your delivery. When this is off kilter, so will be the effectiveness of your pitch. Now, as for the slider, when you're unable to stay behind the baseball and throw it downhill, the best case scenario is that it misses the strike zone. The worst case scenario for a bad slider, well, let's not go there. So how do you correct this jumpiness? Troubleshooting your tempo is very easy. First, step off the mound, regroup, breathe, and visualize. Find a rhythm that is comfortable to deliver the slider when you know that you will be mechanically sound, and then get right back at 'em. Slider slump buster tip number 3, toy with your grip. Some days the ball will just feel different in your hand, and that's how the game goes. The true pitching warriors do not let this affect them. They improvise. So say your fail-safe go-to slider grip feels uncomfortable. It may be as simple as adjusting the pressure in your middle finger or thumb. It may be as simple as just rotating the ball just a notch off your regular grip. Or you may need to go to that in case of emergency grip. And for me, I just turned the horseshoe of the ball around the other way, kind of like the Bizarro grip. However, it worked. Every now and then we have to mix things up and experience life from a different perspective. Pitching is no different. Slider slump buster tip number 4, simplify. Don't think, it hurts the team. The fictitious baseball legend Crash Davis could not have said it any better. When ball players try to do too much, they eventually end up doing less than they are capable of performing. Now for pitching, it can really go south quick. And back to basics is always the best route to take when you are in a struggle. Now, like I previously mentioned, it's a simple matter of finding your mechanics. A breakdown or an unnecessary movement in your delivery can negatively affect all of your pitches. Talk with your catcher and your pitching coach to see what is causing this ineffectiveness. And also, strive to know your own mechanics well enough in order to correct the flaw yourself. The best of the best in the game are the ones that can make adjustments from pitch to pitch. So when you can make the adjustment and simplify your delivery, it will enable you to, and this takes us to our next slider tip, Slider slump buster tip number 5, downhill, downhill, downhill. This is not only a mechanical perfection, it is also a mindset. So when you think downhill, you're going to throw downhill. And when you throw the slider downhill, you will be dominant. No questions asked. As for how the mindset goes, when you are relaxed and in control of your body, you will pitch without resistance. Your mind will tell your body what to do, and the body will be able to comply. And this helps on the days when your body feels like doing something else. Breathing and visualization prepare the mind for the body to execute at a peak performance level. When the mind is occupied with doing things in a more difficult way, the results will negatively speak for themselves. Slider Slump Buster tip number 6. Trust your catcher and trust yourself. When your catcher gives you the sign for the slider, this means that he knows this is the right pitch in the right spot, and you are the one throwing it. Having a good catcher that can work well with a pitcher never gets enough acknowledgement in this game. A good catcher will eliminate a lot of the thinking for you, so all you have to do is just execute. This positive human connection can be just enough to change the mindset for the better, thus eliminating any doubts. Even on your worst days, when your catcher believes in you, it makes it a lot easier to believe in yourself. And Slider Slump Buster tip number 7, keep throwing it. You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on your team. You will have days that you just may have to scrap a certain pitch, and others where you have to find a way to make it work. With the aid of the catcher that he brings into the battery, he will let you know when you have to keep throwing the slider, when you have days it's not comfortable and you have to keep chugging along. And since no one wants to make a mistake, this forces you to focus more, and that's why you have to keep throwing it. Now let's recap here and start to put some things into action. Where does the slider have to be located? Down. Where do you have to release the slider? Out in front. What is the mindset to throw the slider? Downhill. Now, with these 3 bullet points for success, let's put it into action here and visualize a situation to make it happen. You're in an 0-1 count on the hitter. You got ahead with your first pitch fastball. Your catcher puts down the sign for the slider. You know that you have to throw it correctly, even though you're struggling with it. You gather yourself, you take a deep breath in, you exhale, and you throw it downhill. Now the pitch missed in the dirt. It's not a problem. There's no damage done. It's a 1-1 count. Now, you actually did yourself a favor here by changing speeds and changing eye levels on the hitter. 2 pitches later, in a 1-2 count, the catcher calls for a slider again. Now you feel a bit more comfortable. You have your mental checklist to not throw the ball up and over the plate. You just missed down and off the zone. Not bad. It's a 2-2 count. Because you keep throwing it, you're starting to feel better with the slider. The next pitch, your catcher puts down fastball. Now you shake him off. You want another slider. Now you feel you're back and ready to rock with it, and you can feel that strikeout coming. Your catcher feels that vibe also, and he sees that you're getting better and sees that your confidence is building. So he thinks, let's go with the slider. You throw the slider right where you want it. You start it on the outer half of the plate. The hitter sees fastball, the hitter thinks fastball, the hitter swings fastball, but see you later as the ball disappears down and away from the barrel of the bat. Now sometimes it only takes one good one to get yourself back on track, so never give up on yourself. Keep dominating, my friend. Now for more tips and updates on how to make the slider your go-to money pitch, visit sliderdomination.com. And also, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to download your free copy of the audiobook, 7 Reasons Why You Should Throw a Slider. In just under 30 minutes from now, you will know how the slider can have a huge impact on your pitching career. So visit sliderdomination.com and keep dominating, my friend.